And that's one of the few times that I've achieved something that I set out to do as quickly as I did then, and achieved that kind of success as quick as I did. And I attribute it to the fact that I didn't give myself an option. I didn't have an out or a secondary plan or a backup plan or anything like that. I was, it was basically, is you got to make this work. And I did. And then, of course, when it pulled out from under us, that made us reassess everything. And then at that time, I had a lot more to deal with. I had a family I had to take care of it as well. I did, however, had it not been for that, I would probably still be doing HVAC work, which I despised. I sold all my HVAC tools. I let my license go back. I have a contractor's license in Florida for HVAC. That's a hard license to get. I let them have it because I was not going back to it. So when it came to HVAC, I burned the boats. And with my side business, I was down to one client that I was working for. I had let everybody else go. And since that time, I've had a few of those boats rebuild and paddle back this way and say, hey, can you help me? And now I'm remembering why I burnt a few of them because they're miserable to work with sometimes, and they cause you more strife than they give you in value. And I know we all have things in our life that are causing us more strife than they are giving us in value. And I think this is one way to evaluate that. It's one way to look at it and say, look, what do I really want? And you notice in this speech, he talks about Cortez was constantly reminding them what their life was going to be like when they got this treasure, right? Because if you don't have that in front of you, you're going to run, you're going to turn coat and run. Mm-hmm. You've got to have that vision in front of you of what your life's going to be like. And I know we've gone back and forth on this a few times, and we've gone back to it, but I think the beginning of the year is a great time to really understand what it is we want and to get a clear and concise vision of that and what exactly that looks like so that we can explain it to somebody in detail where they can see it too. Because if you can't explain it where somebody else can see it, it's not concise enough in your mind. It's not clear enough in your vision that you can see it well enough that you can explain it to somebody as if it's right in front of you. So I kind of want to point us that direction as we head towards the new year, as we head towards um, trying to decide where we're going to be at the end of this next year. We have some tools available to us now that we didn't have. We have some really cool stuff to be able to accomplish these things with. For one thing, we got a tool that Suzanne built, that she built off of the one that what's his name built. That, so I'm not going to give her total credit for it, but she did take it further than they did. She stole it, but she made it
But I
better.
have permission to steal it
And
too.
she made it better. But this tool of finding out your passion and a direction to take it is very invaluable. And so I think we all need to take a chance to go through that if you haven't already. And even if you have, and if that's not a clear vision, maybe go through it again because things change over time, priorities change, and sometimes we got to reevaluate that. And if you don't have the tool, it might be a good idea to build that tool yourself because not only is it going to help you to go through it down the road, but if you have clients or people that you're helping with whatever it is you're deciding to do, it's probably something that's going to help them as well. It's a very valuable tool that way. So take the time to think about when you can make that happen and set up a time with Suzanne and go through that thing, man. Just do it. It's very, very valuable. People would be paying thousands of dollars for something like that if it were able to take them from not knowing to knowing exactly what they want. Because frankly, that's the number one problem we have. Most people have the number one problem of knowing what it is they really, really want to a point that it's clear in their head. They got an idea or they know what they don't want, right? It's a lot easier to know what you don't want than it is to what you want, right? Well, I don't want to have to work anymore. Well, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to look at the price of things when I go shopping. I don't want to have to worry about my bills being paid or, or being able to live a nicer life. I don't want to have to worry about whether I can afford to travel and go do this or that or not. Worrying about what you don't want doesn't help you. You got to have a clear, concise vision of what it is you do want and where you're going. Because if you're not looking at your path in front of you, you're going to veer off into the ditch inevitably. It happens every time. If you're driving down the road and you're looking in the ditch at all the things that could go wrong, you're going to end up in the ditch. Tom, how many times do you see people end up in the ditch because they're not paying attention to what's in front of them? How many bodies have you pulled out of mangled and wrecked cars because of that shit, right? Let's not be a mangled body in a ditch because we're not paying attention to where we need to go. Let's focus on where we're going. If we don't know what that looks like, let's get that picture clear, and then let's burn the freaking boats, guys. Maybe not to the extent of burning them to the water. Maybe, but why not? If it's a possibility, why not? If you have another source of income and it's not your only source of income, burn the freaking boats, man. You ain't got nothing to lose. Go for what you want to do. Go for who you want to be. Go for who you see yourself being. Stop seeing yourself being that in the future and see yourself being that now. Bring it into the present instead of the far off, someday maybe it might happen future. Because as long as you keep it out there, someday maybe it might happen, that's where it's going to stay. You got to bring it into the present. And the only way you can do that is to see it. Use these tools we have. Everybody in here has got, I think pretty much everybody in here has got access to these tools. If you don't have it yourself, you can have access to it through us. Get pictures of yourself in the situation that you want to be in. Paul pulled up some of his pictures the other day. Randy's done it. Tom's done it. You guys have seen yourself in a different light now. It kind of changes things when you see yourself differently, doesn't it? It gives you a vision of what does this really look like? Is this me, what I'm seeing now, or is that really me? Which one's really me? And you kind of start thinking about that. Put yourself in the position to be that, to be what you're looking towards, not who everybody else told you were, or who that stupid asshole jerk off bitch of a voice in your head tells you are. Ignore that asshole, because it's done so much to help you so far, right? I mean, it kept you alive back in the younger days, but you don't really need that now. You got that part down. So let's get rid of that. Let's build a new voice in our head, and that new voice you've got to immerse yourself in it. You've got to immerse yourself in the new voice. You've got to hear it every single day. You've got to make yourself freaking videos to show yourself what you look like in the future. Go into the AI video maker, take a bunch of those pictures of yourself from the future. Okay, I just thought of this, so I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it. A bunch of those videos of yourself from the future. Make yourself a video talking to yourself in your own voice or somebody else's. Tell yourself what your future looks like and play that sucker every day. Play it every day. You got the ability to do that now. Your dream board is there in front of your face. Right. You can have it on your phone everywhere you go. So before you walk in to talk to somebody about something, play that video. Tom, before you walk in to talk to a new client, play that video so you can see why you're walking in there. This is why I'm doing this, not just to ease the pains, because we do too many things just to make the pain go away. And that's not motivation. That's survival. And if you're in that mode, you're in survival mode. Making the pain go away is just survival mode. It's fight or flight, guys. We're not designed to be in fight or flight 24/7. Fight or flight is a 15-second, 30-second, 15-minute max state of mind you're supposed to be in. You have to move into what it is you see. You have to step towards it. You can't just stare at it from a distance because it doesn't do you any good. You've got the tools now to do it. Let's plug them in. Let's come up with some more ideas. There's plenty of things we can do in there to do that. That one's just one. I made just a affirmation video over the weekend and sent it to Suzanne. It's just a abundance affirmation. It's really short, but it sets her in loops over and over again, and it's really peaceful feeling. It really gives you a good feeling. I did it in like 15 minutes, and I took each picture. I made each picture individually, took them and put them in there, and then did the affirmations over the top of it. And you can do affirmation videos. You can do videos of you and your future. What's that look like? That's a that's a powerful tool.
Right.
Being able to see it's the big thing. Okay, rant done. Happy Monday, everybody. I don't know. Mondays are my days, I guess. I guess so. Yeah. I'm always more so. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it comes from.
Okay.
As long as it flows.
Anyway, I wanted to share Annie Andrews with you. I wanted to share the burn the books thing because when GSP took off for me, it was because I burned the boats. It was because I said, you know what, this is it. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, and went straight into it. And that was it. I was gonna. There was no choice. There was no this could work. There was this is gonna work. It has to. Mm-hmm. And if you look at whatever it is you have in your vision, and I wish we all had the same vision because it'd be easy to put that picture in front of you.
Right.
You know, with GSP it was easy because you could put that same picture in front of other people somewhat and share. It's different when we're all going kind of different directions, but we do have similar tools we can do it with. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing, that Suzanne's doing, that are going to play off with exactly what you're doing. You're going to use some of the same exact things to do whatever it is you're doing. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what it is, find out. I know Katie's got time set up with Suzanne to do that thing soon, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get that vision in front of you, man. Just make it breathe. Mm-hmm. Breathe life into it. You know, some of you need CPR in it. You got to get down there and beat it on its chest a little bit and breathe into it. But whatever it takes, man. If you need help with that, that's what we're here for. That's what the group's here for. Stop doing stuff on your own. This group is not so you can go do stuff on your own. This group is so you can bring it to people that love you and care about you and want to see your success, that will be honest with you and tell you if your idea sucks or not, but will also help you find the ways to make it go through. That's why we're here, guys. That's why you paid money to be here.
That's what y'all do for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use the group. That's why it's here. If you got an idea and you don't know about it, throw it out there, man. Mm-hmm. Nobody in here is gonna steal it.
Right.
You know?
Or laugh.
Yeah. Well.
Stop.
If it's funny, I'll laugh.
I'm like, I got another idea, Jimmy. He's like, hang on, let's think about this one.
But I think there's there's an urgency that needs to be put out there with us. We're not young bucks, guys. None of us are. Mm-hmm. We don't have as much time as some of the 20 and 30-year-olds do. Mm-hmm. If we're going to do what we want, it's time to do it. Mm-hmm. It's past time. Mm-hmm. It's time to put it in action and step in it every single day. And if you're not stepping in it every single day, it's not going to happen. We can't stare at it from a distance and expect it to come to fruition. Take a step now, as small as it may be, take one step in it every day. That's it. That's all you got to do, and you'll move towards it. Doesn't have to be a giant leap. You don't have to burn the boat behind you and turn around and attack. You can burn the boat and take a day or two to gather your, then attack. It works that way. But you've got support here. You're not by yourself with whatever it is you're going to do. Right. So if you know what you're going to do, tell everybody, because we need to be your accountability partner too. Because we need to make sure you're taking those steps every day. Mm-hmm. If you're not sharing it with the group can't help you with it. Mm-hmm. Right? And if you don't know what you're going to do, find out. Find out what your dream is. And let's make it happen. Okay, you talk now. Somebody else talk.
Yeah. Anyone got any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I gotta set up an appointment with you too. Again. Everything is all done. Thank you.
Cool. Good. You've been doing a lot.
Oh, very tiring. I said Christmas is the worst time of the year.
Well, lot of people feel that way.
I just want to get it over with and move on. Yeah.
That's how.
I'm like, this is just an excuse for people to stop doing stuff. Yeah, I'm ready for the new year.
Or
I'm
some
ready.
people to do more.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they get you in, other ones get you involved in all the stuff, like do this and do that, and it's like, okay, it's time to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to do what you need, right?
Yeah. It's about Miss Donna too.
Time to make your dreams come true.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't made your dreams come true in your life yet, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody's going to suddenly turn your dream into their priority. They're not going to do that part for you. So the only person that's capable of doing that is you. The only person that can make your dream a priority is you. And if you're not making it a priority, nobody else is going to.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well kiss it goodbye at that point. It's just not going to happen without you doing that part. You've got to get it. You've got to get it in front of you and make it a gut punch that you haven't done it yet. It is for me. 57 years old, man. I should be a lot further along right now than I am. I look at that, and I know that Tom's nodding his head. I look at myself and I say, I should be doing better than I am right now. There's some things I've accomplished in my life, but not what I want. It's not, I want to grasp it. I want to get a hold of it, and then I'm going to hang on to it. The only way you do that is just an immersion. We're so fucking programmed with all the things we can't do, with all the things that somebody else wants us to do, that all the obligations we have to so many other people that we just forgot about ourselves. And most of us here are empathetic people, right? Very empathetic people.
We like to help.
We like to help. We feel like that's part of our value.
Mm-hmm.
But in some way,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
This in
is not
some
an
ways,
on that.
we betrayed ourselves with that because we focused on everybody else the whole time. And we've let go of that dream you had when you were 20 or 30 that felt real. That's one thing about GSP. When I went into GSP, I felt like I was 20 years old again because I felt like my dreams could come true. Mm-hmm. And you could see that. Mm-hmm. And anybody that was around me felt it.
That was one thing I was super attracted to because Joey was
like, what the hell happened to that?
I knew it was going to come out that way. It was so positive. He was so positive, and not positive like pie in the sky, rose-colored glasses. He was like, no, he was doing work. I remember literally being up until 10 o'clock at night, him showing me how to post and schedule it, and like he was like, we're going to do this, Suzanne. We're going to do this. And
I pissed her off a few times.
He did.
I'm like, did you make your post today? And she's like, no. I'm like, you got to make them. She's like,
he's
right
like,
now?
Yeah. And he's like, come on, here, I'll do them with you. You know, he wasn't like you suck. He was like, come on, let's do this. I'm going to do this with you. He was literally doing it. He was walking the walk. And I didn't know too many people who were walking the walk. And that really stood out to me. And so I didn't mean to make this about like, this is when I fell in love with Joey. It was just like, I think that's important to notice.
It's okay to remember.
He's like, keep talking. I think that is important to remember and to be like, yeah.
I think with all of us, I think we all had a vision, a realism coming towards our vision with GSP. We saw an avenue, right? Mm-hmm. It brought life, it breathed life into some of the things that we wanted to happen. And I think when that rug pulled out from under us, it really deflated a lot of us. I know it did me. Mm-hmm. I was like, are you serious again? Mm-hmm. Really? Like everything I've done. And I hate saying this because I used to say it. Every time I get somewhere and I get on top, the rug pulls out and I got to start all over again. That's life, guys. That's what it is.
Right.
Can I interject there?
Yes, absolutely.
So you were kind of saying like back in the 20 or when I was 20 or 30 and you got this motivation to succeed, and then I found out the system is rigged.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And you just saw that with GSP. Okay. What happened? And Tom, I'm kind of bringing this up. They cut off their meeting last week or the week before, and they didn't make any announcements. It's because the system is becoming unrigged. It's out of their control. and they don't know exactly when the time is going to come. But I'm telling you, this RLUSD stablecoin by Ripple is a big key, okay, that just came into compliance on December 10th. And guess what happens today?
What?
Today, Tether, which is USDT, gets delisted off of several exchanges. Now, what did GSP use for?
Tether. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Guess
what's
what?
taking its place?
I don't know if they,
Stablecoin.
well, it's probably going to be the RLUSD. I hope. You see,
That's the
all
first time
this
I've
is
heard of this RLUSD. And who's that through? Who?
Ripple. Is that what he said?
Ripple,
Ripple?
XRP, which is going to be the, oh yeah, it's all coming together, right? But
That's the ticker, RLUSD.
yeah, just Google RLUSD, which stands for Ripple Labs United States Dollar Stable Coin. And here's something. It's been approved by the New York Department of Financial Services. New York Department of
Yeah.
Financial Services.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what do they have over everything? I've never even heard of it.
I know. They're all like showing up now too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of with New York is where is do we have a one world government?
Mhm.
It's called the United Nations.
Mhm.
And where would the United Nations headquarters be?
Mhm.
Not the old York,
Mhm.
New York, New
Mhm.
York,
Mhm.
right? And the Pope came to America way back and kissed the ground when he got off the plane in New York, right? And don't look at Washington,
What up,
D.C.
man?
as much. Look at New York, where the Twin Towers were, and
A little bit more.
the main Federal Reserve building.
So it's been the
That's what it
financial.
says. I just put hell in here. It's almost full.
Are you talking to us, Teddy? Or are you just talking?
Right.
I think he's talking.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, the main thing that I was getting at, though, Joey, is that I had a drive in my life until I figured out the system was rigged.
Right.
And it took all the winds out of my sail. I'm just starting to get the winds back in my sail. I told Randy, my wife, I was going to go 100% GSP and bammo.
When that happened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
exactly.
it was 90% of our income when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And there's some,
I
and
feel.
some people, it took a long time to convince them. I know Tom, Tom was looking at this with a real discerning eye for a long time. And finally he decides, he's like, okay, I'm ready. And then that happened. And it was like, oh my God, just to see it, to feel it happen to yourself and to see it happen to other people.
That was the worst part. It was.
But
Right.
let me say, and this, I'm so glad you said this, Paul, the wind comes out of your sails. I totally, totally get that. That's when the evolution, I believe, occurs, because now it's like, okay, now what is it? It's got to be bigger than what we're seeing just in this world. Where did that really come from?
It's bigger than
what
GSP
was my dream really? Right. Why did that fire me up? Why did I have that? And you go a little bit deeper, because all of a sudden you're stripped of all the physical stuff. You are stripped of all that you knew. You're stripped of all that you believe. Now what do you believe? When it's all gone and all the great people of the world, this happens to them. All of them go, it's the same process for all of them. It's the hero's journey. You're stripped of everything you thought you knew. I know a lot of us have seen The Matrix. If you haven't, it's a great movie. You should see it. But there's a line in that, and there's a line in Conversations with God. What if everything you thought you knew was a lie? I mean, really take that idea, and then it is. And you're like, okay, now what? Now what? And there's this deeper level that you go to, and this stronger creature emerges.
You have to become mentally strong to handle it.
Yeah, you become
That's Joey, why you had to go through everything that you did, because you're saying, hey, I should be further along than what I am right now. And the powers of the universe say, oh no, son, you needed to learn the lessons.
You gotta go through it. And that's the thing, like she said, the hero's journey, everybody goes through it. It's in every success story.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't go through it when you were younger,
That's right.
or didn't go through it enough to where it stuck when you were younger, it hits you when you're older, and you still got to go through it no matter what.
Right.
So I think a lot of us went through that with GSP, and
other things.
and other things.
Right. And other things. Yeah. I always say the story of my life.
Yeah.
Right? Everything went. Yeah.
But I think it's time to start thinking like 20-year-olds again, and start getting that vision in front of us, and start getting excited, because you the opportunities don't come to us. We make the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And our mindset is what makes it. Our actions are what make the opportunities. Our ability to get out there with a good attitude is what sets us apart from other people. Our ability to get out there despite
that's a good
all the
word.
things
Yeah.
that are against us, and be in that positive mindset and that forward thinking momentum is what's going to draw opportunity toward you. That's how the universe works.
Right. Think of why you like the people in this room. I get excited to get on the phone with y'all. It's like, oh, I'm going to talk to them today, and I'm excited. I get to hear what you're going to say. I get to listen to you, I don't feel that way about everyone.
No,
some people are
Right.
like, oh, I'm going to be carrying this person across the line, so.
And Joey, I just wanted to thank you for your comments this morning and your motivational speak. We missed you for the last couple of weeks, and
yeah.
But
he does. He goes through it. He kind of, he flows. There's a flow.
I get it. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. And but today you did a great job. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, good job.
Yeah, it's sometimes you got to lean back to the old Amway days, right? Andy Andrews is great. If you guys have never listened to him, other than that, he's a really fun guy to listen to.
What's his last name again?
Andy Andrews.
Andy Andrews.
Yeah. And he's a comedian by trade, but now he does a lot of speaking since Amway. I don't think he's a part of that anymore, but
I think bringing up some of the old lessons that we've learned over the years in our different endeavors reminds us a lot that we still have that yearning inside of us.
yes.
Back in the 80s, late 80s, when I first got into marketing, like Andy, there's still a lot of things that I learned back then that I thought, wow, I'll never remember all of this, but it still pops up and it reoccurs every so often. We just have to use it in a now time frame.
Yeah.
So learning was one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard that a zillion times.
Yeah.
And we just have to fall back on the things that we already know and move forward and make them for now,
The basics are all the same, right? Every success book out there, the same things over and over again. It's just somebody says it different, right? But our dreams don't die.
Right.
You either fulfill them or you die with them still in you. They don't go away.
Right.
They're not gonna just die off.
Right.
They're gonna stay alive inside of you. It's whether you try to kill them off or not.
And if you kill it off, you kill a part of yourself. And it's kind of like those movies where you see there's theatrical characters and they kill someone and it kills a piece of them and splits their soul, if you will. There's some stories that are out there like that. And there is an element. You're attached to this and we don't understand all of it exactly, but we feel it and we can't deny that feeling. And, and I'm not talking about emotion. I'm talking about feeling. You get this gut check, this like you were saying. And it's actually more powerful the older you get. To hear somebody who is older say the exact same words as somebody who would say them in their 20s, who has the power when they say it?
Yeah, who wants to listen to a 20-year-old life coach?
No
right?
offense. Don't get me wrong. There's some amazing 20-year-olds out there. I learned so much from my kids and they're 12 and 13. This is not what I mean. I mean, for somebody to still have the fire year after year after year, even though, because life doesn't stop. Just like Joey said, it keeps throwing it at you. And to know somebody I hate to use the word endured, but you've endured life and you are choosing, it is an obvious choice you have to make on a daily basis.
Even better, somebody that's been through what you've been through.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Right.
Somebody that's been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
What you have to offer is very powerful.
Amen.
Because what you've been through is a lot more than some 20-year-old life coach.
They
may be successful. They may be making millions of dollars a month.
Yeah.
But they haven't been through what you've been through yet.
Right.
And who knows if that's what they'll be doing when they go through that. You don't know.
Right.
But what you've been through, you're still here.
Yeah.
There's value to that.
Yeah. Even more so. Like your role becomes even bigger. Your role becomes even more powerful, whether you wanted to be in that position or not. And most people who come in, not most people, but there are some examples of people who come into power who didn't want it. They didn't want that. That wasn't their goal, but yet they are there. The world placed them there, and the world needs them there.
Okay.
I really liked that Paul was like, the wind went out of my sails too. That's exactly, I was all ready to go. And then this happened. Those words, I was like, oh, that's okay. All right. Thanks, Paul.
That's relatable.
Yeah. It's like, all right. Okay. That there's something about that just makes you feel better. Not like you're like, yeah, their pain is my pleasure. It's not like that. It's just like, I feel you and you feel me. All right. And there's something encouraging about that. It's like you are literally in the state of courage because someone just showed you like courage. They just showed it to you. And you're like, yeah, me too. Let's go there. Let's do it. All right, rah, burn the fucking boats, and everybody's like all fired up. And I'm not saying this is a rah, let's get going and, like abandon your responsibilities. But there's an element of, people thought I was crazy when I moved here with Joey. You're taking your kids there? You're taking your kids there? This is something you do 2 years after you meet someone, Suzanne. He bought her a bicycle? He bought your daughter a bicycle? How inappropriate. Like, are you kidding me? And now there's changes that I've seen in my daughter. This is just an example. There's changes I've seen in my daughter because she has a man in her life who loves her, an example of a father figure that loves her. And she has like turned into something I couldn't give her. It's not mine to give. I didn't have it. I'm her mom, and I was trying to do both, but that's not how this was made. And I'm really going down a path here. I didn't mean to do that. My point of it is that
there was reward in the risk.
Yes, exactly. There you go. That's what I was going for. I was doing that feminine thing where we kind of go around and we're getting to the point.
Like, get to the point, Suzanne.
I was telling Joey the other day, I was like, hang in there. I'm almost there.
Suzanne,
Yes,
let me
ma'am.
ask you something. Do you have any French in you?
I do. Yeah, I am French. Yeah, like heavy.
She's a
I thought
frog.
so.
Yeah. Why did you ask that? That's cool.
Because your hands keep going.
Oh, yes. And in Italian, eh? You're talking my language. No, I don't know what accent that was. So.
Yeah.
Brooklyn in Italian.
It's still here.
Yeah, she's a frog.
I get excited.
She's from
Oui.
West Louisiana. Her family is so.
Yeah, they're
It's
Cajun.
southern. Yeah.
big
She's a
time
coon
Cajun.
ass. That's what we call them down here.
Coon
Katie's
ass.
nodding. She knows.
Yeah.
That's what you call a
Hey,
Cajun.
good food there.
Yes, very much so.
And the French people have great food too. Yes.
So
Oui.
I know we've all come to that point over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been here. We've all been to this crossroads. And what are we going to do? Are we going to plug in here? Are we going to really make something happen? Or are we just going to let another year go by? The one thing about a new year is you get to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
You get to look at what you've accomplished over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
If you accomplish the same thing this next year, is that going to put you where you need to be? Or do you need to crank it up a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
We accomplished a lot in the last year.
Yes, don't forget that too.
But
Yeah.
we need to crank it up.
Yeah, but you still feel that. You still, I wonder, like you kind of wonder, what is that curiosity in you? I wonder, could I run 100 miles? I remember the first time I heard that somebody ran 100 miles. What was my first thought? I could never do that. That was the very first thought I had. I could never do that. I've ran it 3 times now. And I first started off going, I could never do that. And I've ran him 3 times now.
That's totally unrelated.
No, but it's the point that I'm making here. The point, guys.
I was like, I ain't running 200 miles.
It never entered my mind.
Never even thought about it. It's hard enough to drive it. Hard enough to drive it, but it's
the point that you think there's something in your head that you're going, I could never do that. There's something in your head that you're saying that with, and it's not
lying
true.
Asshole.
It's not true.
It's that lying true. Asshole that's right. In every one of our heads.
Yeah.
That says the stuff just to, well, at this point, just to piss us off.
And that's so funny, Joey says.
Because it's in conflict with your dreams. It is. It's a direct conflict with it.
So when I wrote down what I was going to talk to y'all about today, the first thing, I don't know if you can see it says pay attention to your thoughts. That was the first thing that I wrote down. But Joey took this in a much better direction, so I'm so glad he took over. But that really is a key component of it.
So as we move forward, so with Trainable, I've gotten very discouraged with it because I have not gotten the response with it that I thought I would from the people in the industry that I know. So it's really discouraging because I know in my heart that I have something here that's valuable. I know that there's a need for it. But because people are so standoffish, because people think you're trying to sell them something, one guy, a single guy, heat and air company, been friends with on Facebook for a long time. I said, hey, you have employees, and he's like, no, it's just me. I'm like, oh, well, do you plan on putting employees on come spring, or is you just going to maintain, the solo act? And he's like, oh, I'm putting employees on. I'm like, okay, well, you might want to try out my software and see if it's something that you guys would want to use once you have employees. I said, I'm looking for people to beta test it for 30 days to see it, so I can, see what needs to be fixed on it, what works and what doesn't. And then I give whoever beta tested a discount on it when it comes time to use it. I have to know more about it before I do that. I'm like, you're a single guy in a heat and air company who's struggling to get along, who's always on there complaining about things going on. I'm offering you something free for 30 days that's worth a lot, and you want to have more information about it. I got offended. I really did. I didn't say anything to him. I wanted to say, well, fuck off then. But I got offended, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with people? They're being
go find somebody else and they'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
They're not ready. They're not ready.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, people are so used to being marketed to. And robbed. They don't see value. Just like when we were in GSP and you would show somebody that and you would see the value, you're like, how can you not see the value in it? Like you said, people weren't ready. But the big thing is they're being marketed to 24/7. Everywhere they look, all the time. They're constantly on the guard. Getting over that wall is the hard part.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't matter how great your idea is. Doesn't matter how much it can help somebody. If they can't see it, it's hard to do. So my goal, my motivation, my moving toward what I have in mind for us for this year is to learn how to get over that wall.
Yeah.
To learn how to get a message over that wall, whether it's with a flaming arrow or what, right?
Right.
Learn how to get over that wall, because it doesn't matter how good your product is. If we don't learn how to get our message over that wall, they're never going to hear
it. And there are people that are ready to hear it. You just have to find them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the next step that we're on. And so, it's almost like it's the marketing and the sales part now. And that's the part that so many people really, that's what it's all about. That really is. And it's the hardest part. And a lot of people don't want to do it.
It's not as fun.
Yeah. It's a lot more rejection. And so our goal was, like, as we've been talking, and this is just our personal goal, was like, okay, now we have to attack it. We have to literally attack that part of it like we've never done before. We have to do things we have never done before because we want things we've never had before. And we've been talking a whole lot about that. Go ahead, Sully.
Yeah, I agree with you. You've never done it before, but that doesn't make it hard. You just haven't done it before.
No, we make it hard.
Right. This makes it hard.
I will argue with you. There are a lot of people that that's the easy part for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for you now
Because we make it hard.
just start doing it. If you use the words, that's the hard part, that's putting up a barrier.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
It's just the part I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say it's the hard part because you've already shown you can persist through hard and easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell yourself it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling yourself a lie. Just keep doing the persistence. You will figure it out.
That's a really great point, Sully. We actually were like, just start moving. Don't think about it. Just start moving on what you know you need to do.
You're already doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the momentum. You've got all of that going. And it's our words will trip us up if we allow them to. And if we don't know that we're using those words, then someone that loves us has to tell us.
Very good.
That's
Thank
why
you,
we're
Sully.
here, right?
I think Randy was about to
Keep
say
ourselves
something.
accountable.
That's right. Thank you, Sully. Were you about to say something, Randy, while you're in the Aurora Borealis?
It's here. It's what it is. Joey took action. You don't get to control the outcome. You planted the seed. Somebody may water the seed. It might not be you. You don't get to control that part of it. You did the action. You put it out there, and we have to just. That's the hardest thing in life in my 60 years to grasp is I don't get to control something.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the biggest bitch in life is I don't get to control it. Is because I want everybody to love it as much as I love it. I want everybody to see what I see, and they may not see it, even though the seed might go in the ground. Some of those seeds just fall by the wayside and don't get anything. But some of them may get a little water, they might get a little nutrients, they might be able to do something, but you did your part. Now keep doing the same thing for the next part because there's more than one seed that needs to be planted. There's plenty of fertile ground out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's you being attached to the end result can be our downfall to our dream.
Oh, I
and it's real easy to be attached to the end result because you get the vision in your head and you see exactly how it's supposed to look. But it may not go that way at all. It may go totally different than what you see or what you even could see. But if you're taking the action, you're constantly doing, then you're going to bring whatever it is that's going to look like into fruition. But the big thing is what I was doing was like, oh, fuck it. Nobody wants it. Just stop. Can't stop.
Which is a very natural feeling.
That's the devil talking to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe that person that you were talking to, after he gets someone to work with them and he comes into a problem, you never know. He might be coming back to you.
Well, I guarantee he's going to need the tool, whether he knows he needs it or not. He'll run into it because with the labor force he's got to deal with out there, there's a lot. It's that internal conflict of do I go back and listen to the asshole in my head, or do I do what I know I'm supposed to do, which is to keep going and keep pushing.
Right.
And even when things don't feel the way I think they should feel, me being attached to that end result or to that result that time, I keep moving, I keep going, I keep prodding forward. And in order to do that, I have to put it down on paper, step by step, and then I have to check these daggum things off. If I don't do that, I won't do that. And so that's where this group comes in. We hold each other accountable to that.
Right.
Go ahead, Paul.
Can you do a video and show how the app works?
That's on our list.
Yeah. That's one of the things is actually showing the app being used. I've done a couple of just AI videos on it just to put out there, but they just don't get the message across the same way. So definitely that's one of the ways that we're wanting to move forward with it, is to actually show it in process and actually show somebody in the field using it, and then show the screen, and ask it the question.
This prodded us. That's great, Paul. This prodded us to move forward on, like, okay, so what would we want to see? What do people want to see? And then going into ChatGPT and figuring that out and coming back to the pain points every single time. And so we've gotten much more organized than we were this time last year, which is all you're comparing yourself to is who you were the day before. And we were making a lot of these decisions, and we are going, I was really influenced by that video by Jesse Isler. And so I'm all like looking at that huge ass calendar, and I'm like, we're going to do this, Joey. And I'm like pulling stuff out of the closet, and I'm deleting emails. I'm like, this is going to happen. And as we're doing it, we're like, okay, we need to like literally list it out. And so we've been working on that. And that is absolutely on the list, Paul.
Yeah, we don't have the kids here right now, so we're using the next 10 days to really plug in and chug forward.
Which is probably why Joey woke
Making
up.
videos. Making videos. That's one thing that we have. We get up to the line on and then back away from.
We have so much stuff saved on the computer that we're like, oh, it's not good enough to put out there yet.
It's got to be perfect. Right?
Yeah,
and
we haven't put it out there. And it's like, no, you have got to put it out there. You've got to be clumsy and put it out there. And so that's the next steps that we're working on right now.
So we have 3 goals. We have trainable. We have the single moms. What do you call it again?
A single mom's toolkit.
Single mom's toolkit that she's moving forward with. And Suzanne just kind of goes over this because she doesn't really see the value of it the way I do, I think, or she's afraid to, or she's reluctant to. The Single Mom's Toolkit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's a very powerful tool that I think is going to go way beyond single moms. But just like we're focusing on HVAC for trainable right now, she's going to focus that on single moms and then see how it goes with everybody else. But that's a very, very powerful tool that I think people are going to see the value in. And you guys are all hopefully going to go through that process to see how it works, because it works. And so many people are in need of that right now. And then this software, guys, this software can make you money. If you start affiliate this software, you're going to make money. You're going to, first of all, go get your software paid for.
Right. Yeah. At the very least, get yours paid
We did
for.
that the first day because Paul and Randy said, hey, we want this.
Right. And
we didn't even have to sell it to them. They called us and said, hey, we want this right now.
We were true.
We're like, okay, in a minute. And Randy's like, no, right now.
He did. He literally did. That was so funny. I loved it. Randy's like, when I know something, I know it.
That commission paid for our basic, our $49, which we're paying $49 a month. We're not paying $39. We're paying $49.
Right.
And that paid for that part of it. And then we upgraded some stuff, and then other people joined, and that paid for that. Our software's paid for. We even make a little money on that. Yeah, we even make a little money on that already, and we haven't even tried to sell it.
Right, we were just so excited. Yeah, we were like, they need to see this. They need to.
So back to that again. If you guys want to do that to make some money, because it's a great, easy way. Every month it's going to be coming in. As long as people are using the software, if they have a need for it, then it'll make you some money. And I know you guys all know somebody that could use the software.
Right.
Anybody that owns a business could use the software. Right. Tom's already seen the power of this. In a really short amount of time, he started using it for things. Paul has built some stuff in this already.
Right.
That's already powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you see the power of what this is.
Right.
You guys have seen some of the apps that we built. You see the power of being able to build an app for just about anything.
Right.
So anybody you know that is in business can benefit from the software, period.
Into the future. Yeah. This software carries them into the future. This isn't like you're going to have to spend 2 months learning high level kind of thing. All respect to high level, but that's an investment. And that starts at like $297 a month, really. If you want to resell it, you can go for the $297 package. And this one is like, now this software may get to that price because of what they're offering. Let's be real. It probably does cost more. They really should be charging more, but they're not yet. But the point is,
thank God we got in here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stay grandfathered in, y'all. And so yeah. There's patterns here. there's patterns like Joey and I were talking about that too. And I'll just say this and then we'll be quiet, but he's doing trainable and I'm doing the single mom thing, but we're actually still doing the exact same thing. We're still parallel in everything that we're working on and how we're building it. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is the formula. Here's the formula that we've been told so many times. And now, it's kind of like Sully said, take the word hard out. Just do it. Just do it. Just take the action. It's like Randy said, don't hold on to the outcome. And I will say this, we talk about investments a lot in here. I've always been a fan of investing in software, always. And I've always got my money back on it. It is an absolute wonderful investment to have in your portfolio. If someone doesn't have it, you could resell this product to them just on that alone. Everyone needs software. It's not about having a brick and mortar building as a business anymore. Your software is now your brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And everyone needs it.
Commercial property is going by the wayside because
Right.
people aren't doing office buildings anymore.
Right.
This is where your office is.
COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Teddy, can you talk? I know Teddy went through the thing, and yeah. Hey, when are you ready to build that first bot? Because you got your direction. You went through the thing with Suzanne. You know what it is you want to do. All you got to do is build a bot to see how powerful this is and how it's going to work. And once you build that bot, guys, it's way easier than you think it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to see how you can use this.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, that bot wasn't so hard to build, was it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get
it's simple.
You get an idea how this stuff works.
Finding your databases and the information you want to plug into it.
That's it.
Yep. And then when he built one, all of a sudden he had three. He was like, oh, I should build this and this and this. And then that's what happens. I mean, guys, I keep like a running list over here. I have so many Post-it notes that have like little apps that I want to build. And it's yeah. Okay. So we didn't need to take it down there.
But that's the thing. Once you build one, Teddy, let's get you in. Let's set up a time. Let's get a bot built. One bot. Let's get an idea for what that bot's going to be and what that knowledge base is going to be. Start gathering information from the knowledge base, just URLs or forms or whatever. Let's build a bot so you can see how it works, so you can have it in your hands, because then you're going to see the whole product come together, and you'll come up with 20 other ideas once you do one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to start flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And same with everybody else. Once you got your idea, build a bot.
Mm-hmm.
Get an idea, focus on it,
Mm-hmm.
set a plan, build a bot,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a bot or a personality, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
whatever can help you with that, build it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you build it, you know it's not as hard as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is really easy, guys.
And fun.
And fun. It's fun to work with.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun building the Einstein one.
Yeah.
That was super fun. And so start with the funnest one, There's no rules.
But take that step.
Burn the boat.
Burn the boats.
Yeah.
Take a step. Let's move towards your goal. Take a step every day towards your goal.
Let's schedule a time right now.
What do you say? What'd you say, Teddy?
We need to do it when you can be at your computer doing it.
Let's schedule a time right now.
Oh, schedule one. Okay.
Yes, that works great, Teddy.
What do you say, like Thursday or Friday evening?
Thursday or Friday evening. When you say evening, what evening? What time is that for you?
Like 5, 6.
That would be
5 or 6 your time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Thursday.
Thursday's the first, isn't it? I don't know if you guys are busy that day. I don't care.
Thursday at what? What'd you say?
I think Thursday is the first, so that'd be perfect for me if you guys aren't busy on that day.
Wednesdays, maybe not.
Wednesday's the first.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
I think
that's
Wednesday.
New Year's Day, so.
So do you want to do Wednesday because you'll have that day off?
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever works for you guys.
Okay, I can do Wednesday or Thursday. The kids aren't here right now, so I have much more flexibility. And so, oh my gosh, I just wrote 124, y'all, instead of 25.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so when
Why don't you do it on the first?
Yeah, let's do it on Wednesday then, Teddy, on the first Wednesday, and then is it 6 p.m.? Can you do, is it 6 p.m. your time?
You could do during the day on the first, right? If he's not working. Are you working on the first?
No, I don't think I'm working that day.
Whatever time you want to do it, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better to get Suzanne during the day because that's when she's more creative and she gets after about 7 p.m. our time, she starts going.
Okay, yeah, let's do it earlier in the day then.
All right.
Okay, so give me a time for you, Teddy, and I'll work around that. So give me a time for you.
Let's do like with the masterminds over at like 7:30 my time. You want to do like 9 my
Oh,
time?
okay. You want to go right after that? Okay, cool. And
We could do like 9. That'd be like an hour or two after. Give everybody a chance to do what they got to do real quick.
11 a.m. Got it. Okay, so 11 a.m. my time, 9 p.m. your time. I mean 9 a.m. your time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Do you care if anyone else hops on just to watch or?
No, I don't care.
Okay, cool. All right. So if anyone wants to hop on and be a part of that, then we got 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday, the 1st.
Yep.
Miss Donna, I'll send you that if you want. Let's see. Did you answer her already?
Yeah, but send it to her. Go ahead and
Okay.
send it to her.
Yeah. Well, my phone's connected to this. So
okay.
Let me
And you'll be building a bot. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, either a bot like either a personality or an app.
An app. Yeah.
Yeah, either one of those, maybe both.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe both. Because if we can start with the knowledge base, you can do either or with that.
Yeah, and if we end up getting into that flow mode, then you guys want to keep just going, and whoever else is on can jump in. I'm all for it.
There you go. Yep. Yes, Paul.
What's the difference between a bot and an app?
A personality.
Well, I think they're kind of the same thing,
Yep.
but yeah.
AI person. So an app is going to have a list of inputs, and an AI personality is just going to talk to you.
So the personality is like natural, like ChatGPT. You're asking it a question, it's talking back with you, and it's like a natural conversation. An app is like, hey, I need you to answer these 5 questions, and then I'm going to output.
Still more trainable
something to
the calculator.
Okay.
Because that's an app.
Yeah. Well, I think I have my
pulled up.
Yeah, so I think yours is not pulled up yet. So let's see here. So an example of a personality would be like when we had Ask Albert Einstein, and you click on it, and he prompts, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to know?" And you just start talking back and forth with him.
Does he have a?
Yeah, it takes him a minute. Okay, so and then I could just ask it whatever question I want, and he's going to talk conversationally with me.
So that's a personality. We call it a bot, but that's a personality is what it is.
As opposed to something like this, which is an app, and this is the Ikigai over here, and this one has inputs. So I've already created a framework, like a template that people are going to have to fill out this information, and they put in their inputs, and then I have it programmed to put out certain outputs over here. So this is more codified template form of inputs and outputs.
Yeah, if it's doing a specific task over and over again, then you would do it in an app.
An app, yeah.
If it's going to be something that's going to just tap in your knowledge base and answer lots of different questions, and you do it as a personality.
Right. And so sometimes you can make them both. Like I actually made an Ikigai personality also, but she didn't roll through the way I wanted her to. She would go through some of the questions and then she stops, and I was like, oh, I don't really like that. So I made a bot instead, and I was like, oh, I like this much better, and I'll just chain these apps together so that it goes fast for someone. And so I took it that direction, and then she's just kind of sitting here. I could make her better, and eventually I may do it like that.
Or get rid of her.
Or get rid of her, but I'm leaving her there for right now just to.
So that's an app, the music producer.
Yeah, the music producer is an app. This is like a fun one. This is like the first one I think we built.
It's the one that he shows you to build.
Yeah. And so this one's just a URL, your favorite artist, music style, and then it's going to put out lyrics for you for a song. And then you could take these lyrics into another app if you want, and it'll actually make the song.
Was it Sora?
What was that, y'all? So was it? No, not Sora. Sora's the OpenAI visual imagery one. It's what, y'all? What was the music app we had? It started with an S. Sola? Was it Sola or
I think it is. It's Sora, Sora.
Oh, my apologies.
Wait, hold on. No, it isn't.
Suno.
What is it? Suno.
Suno. S-U-N-O.
Suno.
That was it. Suno. Yeah.
That's fun. If you haven't played with that, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Does that help answer your question, Paul, or did I just make it more muddy?
No, that did. I would, is there any way, like the one that you just created, that we could play around with it? Or do we got to sign up for the?
So yeah, here's kind of the tricky thing we've been noticing about deal.ai. So this is my deal.ai account. Excuse me. Anything I've created, I can push through to our white label, but I can't share it with anyone else unless, and they've just come up with a new system of this, unless I actually go grab that app, put it on, like, say, a web page or something like that, and then every time someone uses it, it charges me credits. And so it's like 25 or 30 bucks. 25 or 30 credits every time someone uses it. But they just recently did that, like as of last week, I think. And so that's the only way I know how to do it right now. Excuse me. So if you're on our white label, I can push through apps to you, and you can use everything I've built that I push through. If you're on deal.ai, I can't go put it into your account. They haven't figured out how to do that yet. But I could go house it somewhere else and let people use it, which is a great way to market your stuff. And that's actually one of our next steps to do, is to pick our favorite app and push that through social media of like, hey, go to this link, go try out our app for free. It's free for them. It costs you every time they use it. So you want to monitor it, because if you leave that link up there, people will just keep hitting it, and then you're getting, so you just kind of want to be aware. You want to make sure you're using a really good app that doesn't charge you too much, and you want to have a time limit on it. That's our recommendation.
Yeah, because if you did something like one of the image generation apps, it's going to cost you a fortune.
It's going to be like 80 credits.
Especially the video ones.
Yeah, video ones will be more.
150 credits.
The average, they say, is 25 to 30 credits. So, but that's a great way to market. And once everyone's numbers, it just depends on how many numbers you're working with too. Once you're working with bigger numbers, it's not as big of a hit. At the beginning, it may be just a little bit of a cost. But that's a great way to have people try things out.
And these AEO funnels, guys,
yeah.
I know when we first started, we were doing ultra fast funnels, but when they put this AEO funnel tool in here, that's what you need to be building all your funnels in.
Right.
Because it's already doing the AEO stuff in it, and it's going to get you way further up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I have to write something down today.
So, does anybody have anything they've been thinking about that they thinking they want to build, they don't know how to build it, or want ideas of how to build it?
Or just start pulling your questions together and bring them to the mastermind, or, because when one of us builds something, it benefits all of us, even if it's not the exact same thing.
Right.
Like when Tom was showing the password thing up there, it was just 3 inputs, but still it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. So a very useful tool. And build stuff you need. If you can't think of anything, build something you need. That's exactly what I did with this whole thing right here. I was going through this process from this, which is what you're given by Terrence in the boot camp. I took everything from here and ChatGPT. And now Terrence gave permission. I want to say that. But he also said, I got this from someone else who got it from someone else. So, not to beat a dead horse here, but that's just where I started. And there's actually a focus group that you can build that I want to put in here. And that's my next step, which is why all this stuff is still open in the background to remind me. But there's actually a step 8 where you build a focus group of like an AI focus group that represents people that you need to test on, and what do they need and where are they coming from, and how would they judge what I've just built. Give me input on what I've just built, and you can, and they have so you can build an app that's a focus group that is like different personalities in there that are giving you feedback on your product as if you're really testing it out there, like spending tens of thousands of dollars on a focus group like we had to do in the past. Now you don't have to do that anymore. You can build your own.
The power of this, guys, is just, it really is phenomenal.
Right.
What we're able to do here, we haven't even figured out yet.
Right. We're just,
and as we move forward with this, as we help you guys build stuff, and this is the other thing I kind of want to see, how many of you, by show of hand, are actually interested in selling this to other people as a software? Okay. So we talked about doing the call every night. We kind of transfer that into a training call, but I want to keep that open that we can do a presentation. And what we're going to work on this week is building a presentation for the software, so that we have a place to bring people to do it, and possibly making a video as a presentation as well,
and
showing how it works.
Yeah.
And offering webinars. And what we'll do is, if we make that video, we will let you guys put your link on that video and use that video to send out to people if you want. So we'll get that done. Try to work on that this week to get it finished. Just to show people what the tools are like and how they're used and how it can benefit their business. That way you can just take that video, say, hey man, will you check this video out for me? Now just remember, 99% of the people you send them a video, they won't watch it.
But there's multiple ways to get to people. I mean, like, we can do workshops. We can have, our own boot camps. And these are all things that Joey and I are working on.
I did 7 videos for 7 people that I know that have businesses in the AI video thing using their website, and sent it to them. And I haven't heard a peep out of any of them yet. That means none of them have watched it, because as soon as they watch it, they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. How'd you do that?
But you could even but that's actually a great idea that Joey did, because you could even take that. And if you have emails of businesses or somebody, because we all know that email is a little bit different way to approach people. If you could send them like, hey, I love this course that you could go to a coach and you could be like, I really love this course you offered. I made an AI video just real fast about it because I was so impressed.
Using our software.
Yeah. And they'll look at it and be like,
amazing and affordable software.
Right. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you hop on the phone with them or something. So these tools can still work, even though you kind of like butt up against a wall in one area. You just kind of back up and then come in from a window of a different angle.
The problem is the 7 businesses that I sent were all people that I knew.
Oh,
you're going to have a lot better results with people you don't know.
Strangers. Yeah. It's the strangers who need your help.
Yeah. People they don't like you anyway.
They're like family.
Yeah.
They've seen all your ideas.
They're like, whatever. You're so full of shit. Here you go again. Something else.
We couldn't hear you, Sully. Say that again. Oh, we still can't hear you.
We lost him.
Yeah.
His mic's on.
Yeah, he's got his headphones on.
Do you hit a search sign up?
Can y'all hear you?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's good, Sully. Can you type it? We'd love to hear what you have to say. Oh, and yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Some of the stuff that we were talking about even earlier with Joey's stuff, this is test marketing. You're gonna have to tweak the offer, recreate the offer, and keep sending it out. Sometimes people need to see what's the average? 7 times before they, or whatever. So there's all that too, and how many times does it get out in front of them, and
how many different ways too, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah. Oh, wait, say something again, Sully. I think we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we can hear you.
All right. They prejudge you because they know you. They've got all the information they need to make a decision on you.
Yeah.
Strangers don't. And this kind of comes full circle from the start of this mastermind today.
Yep.
I was in Amway for 10 years. My first meeting was live at a Andy Andrews comedian concert.
That's cool.
And I I wasn't told I was going to an Amway meeting. I was told I was going to go see this free comedian. And
That's
and
what
I
they told us to
loved
market
it.
him. Yeah,
I didn't even know it was Amway until after it was over.
that's awesome.
And so when you gave that today, that took me back. That was the start of me growing personal development journey. I was boasting about the fact that I would never read another book. I had read so many books in college that I was so proud of never having to ever read another book.
And what did they
That all
pour
went,
onto you? Books and
yeah,
tapes. Books and tapes.
that all went away that night.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the guy, after apologizing for, how people get you to these meetings without really telling you what it is, I am so grateful I went. And I was in for 10 years. I left because of my divorce. So I didn't leave because of Amway. I learned so much through that. I made decent money, but I learned so much through that about myself that it was more than worth it. Every minute I spent was more than worth it. But my sponsor, when I just didn't want to join, his response was consider the possibility. I could not argue with that. If I was looking for something, which I was, and I considered the possibility, I couldn't just dismiss it as much as I wanted to. I couldn't dismiss it. Consider the possibility is a great phrase to use when someone's showing resistance to you, and that can still apply today.
True.
I tell you what, man.
Very true.
I didn't make squat. I didn't never make any money in Amway. I was in it for like 2 years and spent a lot of money, but didn't make a dime. Was about to make direct distributor when my upline fell apart because they had a lawsuit that everything fell apart at that time, and I was just about to make it. I was like,
I was the same spot. I mean,
yeah,
I made money, but I was
I was
just
spending way
about,
more than I
I
was
was
making.
almost direct.
Yeah, and I would absolutely. That was probably one of the biggest eye-opening events in my life that showed me that growth requires that constant pouring in of education.
Yes,
And some of the best speakers I ever heard were
I
on
agree.
those tapes. They really were. There was I forget some of the names of some of them. Doug Weed, he was a assistant to President Bush. He was a great speaker. I mean, really patriotic, great guy. Was it Marvelous? No,
Oh,
just
Jones,
wonderful.
Charlie Jones, or
Charlie Jones. What was his nickname? He was
Tremendous
great.
Jones.
Yeah, just great people to listen to.
Oh
I
yeah,
tell you what, if somebody could go back and harvest a bunch of those tapes, you could
I
use them.
still have some.
Do you really?
Oh, you could make some killer personalities with those.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because some of the stuff they said was just, you're like, man, look at things differently. They just made you stop and look at things differently. They took
Well,
you
the beauty
out
of it, yeah. I mean, when people hear I was in Amway and I was there 10 years, and I'm proud of it. They think you're some kind of a nut, and it doesn't matter.
I
It doesn't.
missed it so bad when
It
we were.
doesn't phase me a bit. It's like
Yeah.
you have no idea what you're laughing at.
I really miss the books and tapes part of that whole process, and the camaraderie. Even the going out and spinning circles on a whiteboard was it was a lot of hard work, but there was some
Oh, I
satisfaction.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you do Amway too, Randy?
Yeah, my late wife would tell you that she didn't really care about the business, but she never felt more in tune with, other than church, with the people that were there, just because of how genuine and how the relationships and all that stuff went. And So that part of it was really good. We didn't make jack ever. I spent a lot of money on excess energy drinks.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, and we did a lot of things. I took when Carter was little, we took him to the motocross track and we tried to sell excess energy drinks and stuff like that. Try to give him that entrepreneurial spirit. I know that there's a lot of those guys still around. Some of them still doing it, obviously, but the money wasn't really in the business. You had to get to direct to be able to sell the tapes, books, and get your portion of that. Because
That's really where the value was in that whole business, was in the tapes and books.
Exactly. It wasn't that you could buy soap and everything from it. And then you got Paul over there. He's going to chime in because he's working with a guy right now. I think that's an old Amway guy. So go ahead, Paul.
He's the guy that came up with the books and tapes. I'm going to be talking with him in about an hour.
What's
his name?
He said, huh?
What's his name?
Jeff Evers.
Okay.
And he says he made a couple $1 million in Amway, and they sued him because of the books and the tapes. And they came to an agreement, and they said, so they just went their separate ways. He had to disband his membership or his position in Amway, and he went on, and he's what the guy that basically says you want to have multiple streams of income,
right?
And he is very good at motivational speaking and the philosophy behind it. And
the books and tapes were where the value was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they had to have the product to be legal to do what they did. And that's where they got them at, because the profit was being made, the books and tapes. And just because they didn't tell everybody that up front was the only reason they had a problem. And it was my upline that evidently brought that lawsuit that caused all that crap, because it just obliterated in front of me as it happened. I'm like, wait, I'm just getting a hang of this. Where's everybody going? It was kind of disappointing. So was he direct in there with Dexter Yeager then? Because Dexter Yeager was the first one that
we were under Dexter. Yeah, we were under Dexter.
Yeah. He was great to listen to too. He had some great.
Good stuff. I don't know. I'll ask him.
Maybe we should start an Alchemy Workshop books and tapes club.
Absolutely. No, that's
really
the whole idea about the podcast.
Yeah.
What you just did today, in a 15-minute segment, that's what people want. They need, motivation, inspiration, right? They want to be a part of a team, and that was the name of the whole thing. We're a team. We're working together. Even though you might have different journeys and so forth, you're still kind of, the arrows are pointing in the same direction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was not on the team. I was under a couple other guys. They were not in team. I remember that it was TM. I mean, they had it all acronymed out or whatever. I mean, we did the same thing. We were doing tapes and CDs. It was Quickstar when I was in it.
Yeah, I was Amway and then Quickstar.
I was in it when it switched to Quickstar.
Yeah.
We were there right at the switch. That's right after Quickstar is when the lawsuit happened.
Yeah. And now they're back to Amway. Matter of fact, you go to the freaking airport and everything. They got their water filtration in there and everything.
Really?
Yeah, Aspire or whatever it was.
And the products were okay, but they were never, like I said, the only reason I really even liked it so much was the books and tapes. That was the value of all of it. It's where all the camaraderie came from. It's where all the dream building happened. It's, and the products were just kind of like where they kept it legal, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's where the seed of where I am today started, and I know that. Yeah. So I'm immensely grateful for it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Sure. Are you done, Suzanne? I guess it's already 10 o'clock. I guess we should probably cut off, huh?
Okay.
Hey, can I just show my screen for a
Yeah.
couple of minutes and just leave on this note?
Okay.
Is this is perplexity,
Okay.
and I just put in a time line for compliance. It says implementation of the MICA, which MICA stands for what was that? Oh, right here. This is the European Union's markets in crypto assets regulations. Okay. Now, where was GSP out of?
Europe, yeah.
Okay. You see where this is going? So it says implementation of MICA's regulation officially came into effect on June 30th of 2024. And stablecoins must adhere to stringent requirements by December
Oh.
30th,
Today.
2024.
Mm-hmm.
And Tether was their main thing. And guess where it's going? Bye today. So I'm sure Joseph Haidt knew about this a year ago, right? And go, oh shit, we got to get rid of Tether, right? And they did their new Apertum or whatever, and what is it not going to have in it? USDT. So then I said, well, Ripple's preparation has been preparing the RLUSD to meet these standards, but no specific timeline for when it will achieve full MICA compliance has been announced. Industry insights suggest that while RLUSD is expected to be compliant, official confirmation from regulatory bodies is still pending. Well, it's still pending, and that's why your call got canceled. This is how I read that, right? Because I think the Ripple is going to be the cross-border payment for the entire world, and it's the bridge currency. So
That's interesting. So what's going to happen to so like we held a lot of USDT in our accounts. They're going to have to transfer that to some other.
and that's what my understanding is what Ripple does, because and I say they know where it came from, right? You can go through the blockchain and go, oh, this is where Joey got his USDT. Okay, that's compliant, converted over to RLUSD. Oh, where'd you get this stuff from? Child trafficking and human trafficking? Oh no. Guess what? That ain't gonna work, right? And that's how I see this going, you know.
So they're just trying to do away with money laundering. It's part of it.
Well, and
But
I think too that's part of what you're saying there, Paul, is that one of the other accolades of what they're doing is that's why they're telling us to get a Trust wallet or an Exodus wallet, because when it comes back online, however they do that, my understanding so far of it is that when they do that, we are going to have to pull it all off of there and put it back over into something else in order to, and that I think is where you're going to find um, they're going to exchange it for something else, because they're not going to be able to use the tether USDT. So they're going to have to put it into something else to put it over into your Exodus or Trust Wallet or Coinbase or whatever you're using.
So is the Ripple RLUSD, is that on the exchanges yet?
yeah, it's kind of hard but to find it, but it is as of December 10th. Um, but I haven't found it on Coinbase yet and stuff like that. The whole point is it's in the process, right? Things are happening. Does Joseph Haidt know when it's going to happen tomorrow? He probably doesn't. And we know we're in the window though, January 1st. January 6th is technically the Orthodox Christmas, and stuff on the Julian calendar, because we're dealing with everybody else other than US, right? The United States of America. We got the whole world here. So how is you're trying to line all this stuff up, and it's like herding cats probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it is.
And everyone's got an agenda.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
And then you got corruption in there.
Right.
to
Right.
bring a one world order, which is really, this is another step towards that. You first off have to have that all set up, and that's got to be crazy to even think that you can put that together. But they're working hard toward it, and this is, I think, just another big step toward it. And I think that the blockchain is going to be a huge part of that, because that's going to not only be how they're going to track money and expenditures, they're going to track a lot of other things through that same thing. And like Paul says, get rid of some of the corruption and stuff like that.
Well, the problem with the New World Order and what they're trying to do, and the problem with blockchain with that is blockchain is visible from both sides. And the WEF doesn't want you seeing their side of it. They just want to see your side of it. And they haven't figured out a way to make a blockchain where it's only one way yet. And hopefully it'll take them a little while longer, because that's what's keeping them at bay. Really, I think that's probably all that's keeping them at bay right now.
Yeah, I look at this as a good thing. It's transparent. It happens instantaneously, and they can't go through what I would call their arbitrage, if you guys know what that is. And it's all transparent. You can see. So, and that's why you have the DEX, the decentralized platforms and stuff. They don't have control over it. So I don't look at this as the one world order. I look at this as the total opposite from the one world order.
As long as we can maintain our vision of it and see it from both sides, and it stays clear to us, they can't hide money from us, because that's what they've done all along. These governments have taken the money and done whatever the hell they wanted to with it. I mean, look at our budget for the military and how much of our budget doesn't ever get accounted for. Look at all the money they lose in the Pentagon every single year. If this were in place, every dime of that, all the money going to Ukraine, you would see where every dime of it went. Can you imagine knowing where that all went? The government doesn't want you to be able to see that.
The only thing I would say, Joey, is our government. It's not my government. It's a foreign corporation.
For sure.
Okay. Your government was usurped back in 1871 by a foreign corporation, and their domicile is 10 by 10 square miles in Washington, D.C. Okay. That's not my government. Okay. All right. And they need to hang. Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. That's what really needs to happen.
I always said we stopped tarring and feathering politicians. That's when things got out of control.
Yep. Exactly.
But
one. It's all changing right now. And this right here is a big part of it, is the financial system. That's right. You know what, I can't remember, the guy said, I don't care who makes the laws, let me control your currency. And right. There you go. There, yep. So that's your Federal Reserve. And now this Fed now and stuff like that, I think, Randy, that is totally cabal, right? Hey, this Fed now, we're going to try to adapt through our CBDC. Well, guess what? They're supposed to be adapting to RLUSD come like March or something. March 10th, I think it is. Look it up. All right. And you say, whoa. Yeah. And where is Ripple Labs home office located?
Where is it?
Where is it? New York?
Yep.
Yeah.
New York. Right. And isn't this a coincidence how, Trump's coming back and all that? It's all coming together. Do I get the whole picture? No, but I can see enough of it that good things are happening. But don't stop doing what you're doing. Right. Keep working on your app. Keep doing this, because, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning, towards February 1. Somebody, said, hey, maybe February 1, GSP could be coming back or something,
That was the initial.
What year, February 1?
Exactly. Exactly. Right. But yeah, by 2030, What's that, Joey?
As long as it's not last year.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. So Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's the stuff I look at. I've been in another thing that kind of uh I got a little uh I'll just say egg on my face to get the point across to you guys quicker with some other folks because we're still waiting for an asset-backed digital currency.
Yeah.
Now, is that RLUSD? I think it is.
Could be.
Yep.
It'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You have what time's your next appointment?
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Paul, what exchanges are you finding that on?
What? The RLUSD?
Yeah.
I'm not. I think I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research yet on it because you still something's going to go down here in the next. But I don't want to say because I don't want to jinx it. But it's like, can you get on the Ripple or XRP ledger right now? See, I don't know how to do that, Teddy. And but it is the RLUSD is approved.
CoinGecko has it.
CoinGecko. There
CoinGecko.
you go. See, I
So
don't use CoinGecko, so
I don't either.
I just checked Coinbase. They don't have it on there, but
right.
I don't really have time to check right now. But I'm gonna check for sure later.
Mm-hmm. But it's just a stable coin, so that's why. But would I take some fiat out of my Federal Reserve bank account and put it into a RLUSD and on my Coinbase account? Yeah, and then move it from my Tangent wallet. I think it'd be a lot safer. But it just goes to say things are happening behind the scenes, and that's what we're.
Thanks for sharing that. That's really interesting. We have to keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's a bunch of news out about it around October, December. When and where to buy. A bunch of people asking the question.
Hey, one thing to be aware of too is I was listening to this radio station. He was talking about Trump's 20 top objectives that he's gonna do. And one of them is to keep and make the US dollar the #1 currency. So that's something to think about as well.
Well, if they can get rid of the BRICS agreement, then it'll bring the US dollar back to it. But the only way they're going to do that is to give more confidence in the US dollar again. And right now, that's the uphill climb he's got.
But he can talk to those people like no one else who's been in office has been able to talk to.
Being able to keep the US dollar as a trade currency for the world is what's going to maintain its value. That's the only value we have in the US dollar right now, is that we are the trade currency for oil in the world. If these other nations decide they're going to take other currency for it, then it drops our value quickly. So if he can talk them out of jumping ship, then we'll be in a better boat.
He has a history of a very successful businessman, and I think a lot of other people respect him. And there's an element of him coming into office, that some people who may have not wanted to speak to the United States before will be willing to speak now and to have different conversations with. He carries a way different energy with himself. And that I know that wasn't like really earth-shattering information right there, but I just think there's an aura that not an aura as in like, oh, it's just kind of like he really does carry a certain energy. He's got a history, and a lot of people are like, okay, we'll talk to you. And so, yeah.
I think he laid the law down in his first term.
He did a lot.
And then they had this 4 years to comply, and now the hammer is going to drop.
And he's got his crew now. Now he's surrounded himself with a different crew of people too.
So one thing about this RLUSD, it's not going to be a coin that goes up in value. It's just going to be a coin that maintains value.
It's a stable coin, right?
You put $1 into it, it's only ever going to be $1. So it's just a safer place to keep money than probably a bank account right now.
Right. And
exactly.
That's what Paul's saying.
So what you guys need to be aware of then is where that stable coin is. And the altcoin that's connected to that, which is what? Ripple or XRP.
XRP.
Exactly. XRP is going up and down like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's gonna
that's
go
what you
up.
guys need to pay attention to.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get this.
It's been on sale.
Take XRP jump and stay.
It's like at $2 right now.
It'll be like USDT and Ethereum. Ethereum got its value from USDT because USDT was a stable coin for so long and it's built on their blockchain. And Ethereum was the coin that was tied to it. XRP will be similar in its value with this if this is where everything moves to.
Oh,
well, yeah. Think about that. If Tether, if Ethereum is tied to the USDT Tether, right, and that goes away, and you've seen what happened with that. Just imagine what can happen with XRP and Ripple.
Yeah.
Hey, Teddy, the other blockchain or network that the RLUSD is going to be on, other than the XRP ledger, I mean, is Ethereum.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
XRP to $3,000. Let's get rich, guys.
Oh, $100 and I'm good.
Right? $3,000. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They say, I hear it's going to overtake Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not backed by anything. And
a lot of mystery around Bitcoin.
Right. And guess what? Where, what's really tied more to Bitcoin is the USDT Tether. And so I'm telling you, it's going to come crashing down.
It's going to be
interesting.
Go. It is.
Yep.
I want it to be interesting.
It is. Great, exciting times ahead.
It is. We're supposed to be here because of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got to ride the wave. Get your surfboards, everyone.
Surfboard.
Yep.
Get up on it.
All right. Well, hey, I'll see you guys. I got to scoot. Great call today.
Hey, anybody needs anything, reach out. We love you guys.
Love y'all.
See you all soon. Have a good Monday.
See you tomorrow. Love y'all.
Yep.